Warning: the following presentation will change your life for the better, make you a happier, more positive person, and will show you how to alter any aspect of your life to align closer with your own unique idea of success. If you're looking for a permanent course correction in your life that will lead you to more money, stronger, more fulfilling relationships, greater confidence and self-esteem, and an overall greater sense of fulfillment, keep watching. Otherwise, the following material may be too powerful for you to handle right now. What you are about to discover will, indeed, have a palpable effect on the world around you. There's an expression that when one door closes, another opens. And I truly believe that idea is what has led you to this video today. I think you're at the point in your life where you're looking for that new door, that new opportunity to grow, change, and succeed. And today, that gift is being placed at your feet. This is your door. This is your next step. So although you may not understand what that next step means exactly, by the end of this short presentation, you will. And my promise to you from here on out is that as you take this journey with me right now, I will give you that aha moment that will form the bridge to your ultimate success. And the success I'm talking about is polymorphic. It comes in many forms and will fit the mold of your personal, customized image. And this could be a $300,000 a year salary, finding that elusive partner in a relationship who you truly connect with, having a marriage that burns with inextinguishable passion, having a body that reflects the discipline of a fitness model, or maybe your idea of success is something less physical in representation. Perhaps your success is defined by a sense of happiness and personal fulfillment in how your life unfolds in front of you every single day. Whatever you're seeking, pay close attention. We are about to connect the dots in the next few minutes and guide you from your present situation to exactly where you want to be. But first, there's a concept I'd like to quickly introduce to you before we dive in. And it will help clarify why this video has been made and why you currently find yourself left disappointed with what life is presently offering you. Let me ask you, has life sort of lost its luster lately? And you can't quite put your finger on it, but you just find yourself drifting or going through the motions. Maybe you feel a little depressed. Is your career or business not all that you would like it to be? Have you found yourself significantly less excited about your day-to-day life? Does it seem like time is just sort of blending together, flipping over your days into weeks and your months into years, with no apparent progress to your health, wealth, or love life? Do you feel like in some way that you've already peaked? Maybe you've climbed that mountaintop that you've been planning to tackle all these years, and now that you've reached the summit, you're left feeling empty and somehow trapped in the perception of being unsuccessful. The problem you're feeling is what I call the plateau. And this plateau is something that over 95% of the population reaches and lives in, completely unaware that this state is what is causing their insatiable longing for more. You know what I mean when I say longing for more. Life is probably pretty pleasant on the surface for you at the moment. Superficially, things are fine. In most cases, you have a job, the mortgage gets paid, and things are generally bouncing along. The problem is that when most people reach this point, they begin to trade their hunger for growth with the comfort of stability. And the comfort of stability is a dangerous animal, particularly the comfort part. When things are going well in life, most people, present company included, want for everything to just kind of stay the same. We want our bank accounts to continue to have money in them. We want our employer to continue paying us steadily, increasing our compensation over time. We want our health to remain vibrant. We want our partner or spouse to stay aligned with our own desires. And of course, we want everything else to remain cushy and right where we left it. And this desire for things to remain the same, it goes completely against the nature of the universe. The nature of the universe is to be in a constant state of change. So, as things change, we get older, there's a round of layoffs at our company, tragedy strikes, we're shocked into a feeling of anxiety and worry and fear because our mindset in this desire for comfort and stability creates a reflex to cling desperately to what we know as good. And by good, I'm referring to the predictable, cushy life that we've become accustomed to. And this dichotomy is a self-sabotaging problem. It's a problem that, as you'll soon see, can be corrected. But nonetheless, this is a problem you're facing, and it's the root cause of your unsettled discomfort with life's current circumstance. You have this perpetual feeling of unrest. You want things to remain the same, yet you understand that they will ultimately change. And this scares the hell out of you because most change is naturally associated with loss. You feel that if things change, you lose what you currently have. And what you currently have is associated with ownership. You've built your career. You define yourself by your physical successes. And you're protective of these possessions because they're directly tied to your ego. So this is where your fear comes from, your ego. Your ego tells you what you are worth based on the ideas that you hold valuable. And when change threatens the net worth of that value, all those terrible feelings arise. In summation, your happiness is determined by the makeup of your ego. A simplified way of saying this is that your ego is your perception of yourself and the world around you, which means your perception is the only reality that matters. This video is going to reprogram your perception and show you that you have complete control over every single feeling you experience. I'm about to give you the keys to unlock your mind from the prison you have unknowingly constructed for yourself. Over the many years of your life, concepts have been thrown at you, and you've adopted these concepts as truth. The economy is bad. Life is hard. It's not easy to find your soulmate. Don't trust people. Negative statements such as these compile in your mind over time and add to the model of your ego. Today, I'm going to show you how to break that mold and reconstruct a mind that can obtain anything, be it money, peace, happiness, love, health, whatever you desire. And more so, I will show you how to discover what you truly desire. Because once you remove all the restrictions that the mind puts on possibility, you'll find yourself reaching for the heavens and achieving what was once considered unfathomable success. Now, it's only fair to tell you up front that this video won't be up for long. So please, watch this until the end and know that if you leave and come back later, I cannot guarantee this page will still be online. Before we go any further though, let me just give you a bit of background on myself and why this video has been created for you. My name is Jason Ellis, and I've been helping people across the web for the last 7 years find success that is custom tailored to their personal hopes and dreams. What started as a personal one-on-one life coaching system has grown into an online resource for over 36,000 members who have found deep inner comfort and tangible results from my life's work. I've helped thousands overcome anxiety, reach new levels of financial gain, form stronger relationships with their existing counterparts, connect with others, and create new relationships. And a lot of this has been done through the simple act of empathetic listening and applying over 20 years of study of why we do what we do to redirect the thoughts and actions of others into a more beneficial outcome. The details of my mentorship are really too vast to encapsulate into this presentation, especially since my main focus here is getting you to reach a greater you. You're more than welcome to reach out about my accomplished resume, but I'd much rather tell you exactly how to restructure your mind right now to build a better life starting immediately. So without further ado, let's get right to the meat and potatoes. Some years back, a book by Rhonda Byrne came out called The Secret, and they also made a movie based on this book. The concept of the production focused on the law of attraction and how it can work in your favor. And if you're familiar at all with the law of attraction, you've already been introduced to the concept that thoughts are things. And what this means is that every decision you've made in life, every material possession you own, every single step that has led you from childhood to where you are right now had originated at one point as a thought. You think of an idea and execute that thought to bring your idea into the physical world. You want a new job. You start thinking about this more and more. You update your resume. You think to contact recruiters. You contact those recruiters. You start thinking about what kind of job you're best suited for and communicate that with the recruiter. They start setting you up on interviews, and before you know it, that original thought has connected you with your new position and income. Now, there are a million nuances that happen in between wanting a new job and actually landing that new job, but I make this point to illustrate the connection between mind and body. Your thoughts are the navigation system, and the law of attraction states that whether you take an active role in your thinking or let your subconscious steer the direction of your life on autopilot, you will arrive at the destination you think about most. There's no denying this law, and it's been proven scientifically throughout the ages. This wasn't some concept recently declared. Leaders from decades and even centuries past have abided by this truth, and nearly all of them have attributed their great leadership and impact on the world to the fact that they thought their way into greatness. You see, every action you take in your life, whether it be the job you hold today, or even just the decision to wear the shirt currently on your back, originates with a thought. And these thoughts aren't spontaneous. They're programmed based on the history of experiences and beliefs that make you, you. So many people stumble along, rarely questioning why they've continued down a path that seems mundane, predictable, and short of their wants in life. The truth, however, is that you can change your thoughts at any time. We have free will to do so. But it takes consistent thought to reprogram the circuitry that's been forcefully wired into our brains out of habit for so many years. And you'll find that when you begin to try this, the exercise becomes exhausting very, very quickly. Take, for example, the concept of thinking in terms of abundance. Abundance is the idea that there is more than enough in life. It's the idea that resources are endless, opportunity is endless, money is endless. There's no limit to what you wish to experience and attract. Now, a pragmatic person may immediately jump up and say, well, that's nonsense. I mean, take oil, for example. Oil is a finite resource. There's only so much oil in the earth. And jobs are limited based on what an employer is willing to create for the marketplace. There's only so much money printed in the world, so they're crazy. Abundance is a lie. The idea of abundance, it can be difficult to grasp for the person looking from the outside in. If you look at your environment as if it's a separate thing, something you must survive within, like a fish in a fishbowl, you're immediately limited by that container. And by container, I mean your perspective. But Once you realize that the world is everything that your consciousness perceives, you'll realize that by changing your consciousness, you can actually change the world around you. So when I say that life is abundant, I don't mean that there's an unlimited amount of oil in the earth. I mean that the resources you need to create the vision you align your thoughts with are there. You cannot have a thought that you align yourself with wholly. And I'm about to explain what I mean by aligning yourself wholly. You cannot be in harmony with your thoughts and the physical representation of those thoughts not exist. It's simply impossible. Finding this harmony between your thought and action, that's the tricky part. And it's the reason why the law of attraction fails to work for so many people. People who desperately force thoughts of their goals and dreams into their head every single day. So if you want to have a red Ferrari, according to the law of attraction, you need to constantly be thinking about a red Ferrari. You wake up and you need to think, red Ferrari, red Ferrari, red Ferrari, red Ferrari. You get out of bed and you start brushing your teeth and continue in your mind, red Ferrari, red Ferrari, red Ferrari. You go downstairs, you have breakfast, and still it's red Ferrari, and so on. Now this kind of training may actually bring you closer to acquiring a red Ferrari, but it's unrealistic, annoying, and most importantly, unsustainable. The law of attraction isn't about a conscious thought as much as it's about a subconscious belief system. The idea of you owning that red Ferrari needs to be supported with an unquestionable confidence that it will happen, and a strong sense of gratitude that in some way it's already happened, albeit in the future. Now suddenly this whole law of attraction stuff gets a whole lot more abstract and confusing. I mean, let me get this straight. I need to believe that in the future, I own this red Ferrari, and I need to feel grateful for owning it now when I don't have it in the present moment? What? Yes, that's exactly what the gurus of the law of attraction are teaching every single day. And you know what? It's really upsetting to me. I mean, it's sort of a cop-out for these podium speakers to tell you that your dreams aren't coming to fruition because you don't really believe you can do it deep down inside. Belief isn't something that has a metric to it. It's not like I can tell you you haven't received the red Ferrari from the universe because your belief of it coming true is really only at an 8, and you need to be at a 10. Belief is a feeling. It's infinite. It's immeasurable. Belief is your emotion in sync with your thought. And this is what I mean when I say you wholly believe in something, or you are in harmony with your belief. If you think repeating red Ferrari is going to get you one, you're only partially correct. You have to keep your goals in sight and know what they are, but your actions need to support those goals. And your actions aren't going to be based on that single phrase, that single thought, red Ferrari. Your actions will be based on the greater whole of your belief system. Now don't let all of these ins and outs of the law of attraction confuse you. The truth is, you really can master this process and learn how to create your own meaning in life, build a beautiful vision in your head, and accomplish all of the goals required to achieve that vision in a very systematic way. But in order to do so, it's going to take a bit of work on your part, and I'm going to show you the exact steps of that work right now. Because once you know what to do, it's as simple as putting one foot in front of the other to move closer and closer to a life you are proud and excited to wake up to every single morning. The control has never been more in your hands. You just need to know the right buttons to push to start seeing the results unfold in front of your eyes every single day. You already know you can't become a martial arts master by knowing a single powerful technique, despite what the crane kick has told us in the past. Becoming a master of anything requires a lifelong discipline and a wide breadth of understanding. And that doesn't mean it will take you a lifetime to get what you want. But once you discover what I'm about to show you right now, you'll soon realize that there's simply no other way to operate your mind in a more productive and positive direction. And that's why I'm convinced that once you've discovered the following and start practicing it, you'll never look back. This will be your lifelong strategy, no matter what accomplishment you choose to tackle next. And if you're feeling a bit lost, like I once was, and you don't know exactly what you're going for next in life, well, no worries. This will work for you too. The secret behind not only knowing exactly what you want to get out of life, but also achieving those goals you are focused on, begins with your conscious attitude. I want you to take a look at this stick figure diagram. This diagram represents the thoughts and actions of all of us. Now, immediately you'll notice the size of the head compared to the body, and that's because our bodies are simply an extension of our mind. They are a tool of the instructions that we create. We're going to break the mind here into two hemispheres, and this top hemisphere will be labeled as our conscious thoughts. These are the thoughts that we have direct access to at all times. This is the software of our mind. When we read, when we learn, as you're doing right now, we evolve our conscious thought and create new ideas to draw upon for daily use and long-term strategic thinking. It's our conscious thoughts that we have immediate control over, so this is where the bulk of our work is done. Now, the law of attraction states that like attracts like, meaning if you think about something you want to attract in your life, like a $300,000 a year salary, and you continually focus on that thought, then you will be that much closer to actually manifesting that salary into your life. But the law of attraction does not understand negatives, meaning if you're constantly thinking, I don't want to get a disease, and that thought repeats over and over in your head all day long, you're actually more likely to attract getting a disease because the law of attraction doesn't understand the negative in that statement. It doesn't hear the I don't want to get part. It just hears disease. So when it comes to managing your thoughts or focusing on your goals, it's important to keep your focus on positive objectives and not objectives that you want to avoid. In other words, you wouldn't want to think, I won't go broke, because then all your mind is really hearing is the word broke. You would want to think, I am building my wealth every single day. Notice there how I also keep the second statement in present tense. It's always a good idea to think and speak positively as close to your present situation as possible, so the transition and acquisition of your goal happens sooner than later. Make sense? Okay, well, this is just the first half of the consciousness puzzle, and the second half is equally as vital. The second half of your thoughts must focus on the emotion behind those thoughts. As I just explained, your conscious thoughts must be directed positively towards the objectives you wish to achieve. You need to ask the universe for something. Similarly, the emotion behind those thoughts must be positive in nature. Take a look at this simplified chart of emotions. This list isn't all-inclusive, but should provide you with a general compass as to what direction your feelings are leading to. When your emotions are in a positive state, and you continuously focus on what you positively wish to achieve, you draw the circumstances around you into a more favorable environment for seeing your dreams come to fruition. This is the first layer of work that you will put in to build your new life. The second layer is taking inspired action. So using the same example as earlier, if you want a $300,000 a year salary or income, and you've defined that in your head as your goal, you next have to align your emotions with that goal. When you think, I'm going to make $300,000 per year, that thought can't be returned with cynicism. You need to block out that inner voice that may say, how? That's impossible. You're foolish. You don't deserve it. What if you fail? I haven't done it yet, so why should I expect to ever accomplish this? All of these negative statements can be directly tied to these general emotional points illustrated on the graphic here. Whereas thoughts of, if I believe it, I can achieve it. I will find a way. I am happy for having the opportunity to chase this dream. I am excited about the process of becoming what I desire. These thoughts are uplifting, positive, and lead you closer towards taking the kind of action that will bring tangible results. Your thoughts and emotions combined create what is called your frequency. This frequency is the heart of what you attract. So when your thoughts are positive and your emotions are positive, you will receive a positive outcome towards the sights you have set. The inspired action that I mentioned earlier is the product of your thoughts and emotion. It's the final piece of the puzzle which brings your ideas into physical manifestation. You think, I want to make $300,000 a year. You feel positive about this goal, and your actions will be focused towards putting yourself out there to achieve it. You're now inclined to start a company, begin consulting, improve your education, take more calculated risks, and finally reach for what you desire based on faith, love, and compassion. This is the science behind success, and following the formula will work for anyone. Now, let's say you don't know exactly what you want to achieve. Let's say you're in your 20s or 30s or even 40s, and you feel a sense of ambivalence towards life. Maybe you know you want more, but don't know what that more means. Well, that's okay, because emotion inspires thought. So raising your emotion to a greater level of positivity will create the thoughts that you pin on a wall and claim as your next goal. Emotion creates thought, and thought will also create emotion. They are what is called synergistic. They are interconnected, and when the two are aligned positively, the sky is the limit. So let's talk about how to change your thoughts and force a more positive outlook no matter where you currently stand. When I first understood this consciousness part of the law of attraction equation, it kind of made me nuts. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but at the time, really, when I say it kind of made me nuts, I'm not exaggerating. And here's why. And maybe you're experiencing the same thing if you've been having trouble getting the secret to work for you. I knew that the underlying principle of the law of attraction is that like attracts like. So it becomes mandatory to think more positively in order to have a more beneficial outcome. Now, at the time I began implementing the secret, I was in my early 20s, a young man with the world standing before me, and my confidence and experience was nowhere near what it is today. And on top of that, I suffered from general anxiety disorder. So if you have any history with anxiety, stress, or general neurosis, you know how difficult it can be to keep your thoughts positive on a consistent basis. For me, having waves of anxiety wash over me as a regular occurrence, I felt like a huge failure at practicing this positive thinking art form. I had spent nearly 24 years of my life slipping in and out of different states of worry, and worry was far more natural than feeling calm. So as you can probably imagine, forcefully trying to think positive all the time felt like I was quite simply faking it. I mean, I would wake up in the morning, I was single at the time, and I just kind of had all of this flux in my life. Remember earlier I talked about how change can be incredibly draining and stress-inducing? Well, here I was, a young man who already had a predisposition to stress, and I was in the midst of online dating because it was the only way I could meet people due to my social anxiety. I was trying to climb the corporate ladder and stand on my own 2 feet. I was paying rent with what little income I was generating. I was unsure of myself and who I was exactly. You know when you're growing up and still trying to find yourself, or at the very least feel good about the skin you're in? Now, I completely realize, particularly now, that these are not real problems. I mean, I was generally healthy, I had a good relationship with my parents, and for all intents and purposes, life was very much in my favor. But I was scared, and fear is unique to the person experiencing it. Now remember, fear is one of those negative emotions we went over earlier in that diagram, and fear can draw a blanket of negativity over every perspective you shine on your life. So trying to practice the law of attraction, it was sort of like climbing uphill with a bag of bricks strapped to my back. But I was a persistent kid, and I spent years fighting my way to self-improvement. I attribute a majority of this improvement to my dedication to the law of attraction and practicing this discipline throughout my younger years. As time went on, life's experiences gave me a bit more confidence, and as I got into my late 20s, I found a strategy that helped me tackle more and more goals and feel more and more uplifted. I had nicknamed this strategy consecutive thought control. You see, self-hate and negative thinking is something I'm embarrassed to say I'm all too familiar with. I call it the negative thought spiral, or the negative thought loop. And here's what happens. Your thinking becomes negative, and those images and thoughts breed further negativity as your anxiety ramps up to either a full-blown panic attack or a weight so heavy you become depressed from its overwhelming, all-consuming effect. Negativity begets more negativity, and the result is a malaise you feel crippled to lift yourself from. And here's how you can move past your negative thought loop and shift your perspective into more positive territory. You see, it takes twice as much effort to transition directly into a positive thought from a negative thought. And consequently, this habit of downward thinking makes it much easier to sink from a positive thought into negative territory with seemingly no way out or up. And I compare this kind of motion of thought to gravity on our bodies. We become weighed down with doubt, jealousy, envy, insecurity, and all the other bad virtues that lower our frequency. So by the time we recognize these thoughts and emotions, rising up from the depths feels like a whole lot of effort. The best way I found to rebound from the negative thought loop is through the process of interruption. And here's how it works. Let's say you have a negative thought like, my career is in the toilet. When you're having this thought, you're immersed in the idea. Rather than spend your time rationalizing back into positivity, take a time out, interrupt your train of thought with positive affirmations to confront your downward thinking head on. Spend 5 to 10 minutes listening to positive affirmations, reading them, or saying them aloud. And don't stress over whether you completely believe what you're saying or hearing. The important thing is to repeat the positive affirmations similar to repeating a mantra, and take a vacation from your negative mind with positive material. Your mind will be carried away by this new script of thinking, and after about 7 to 10 minutes, you can return to your own head and begin to transition your thoughts into a more optimistic, positive tone. Yes, if you think this sounds a bit like a superficial approach to anxiety, you're correct. This is totally a surface-based solution. But I'm not done. And soon, you'll understand how these little affirmation sessions I would have to snap me out of anxiety led me to the greatest breakthrough of my life, and in turn, allowed me to overcome every obstacle thrown before me and build the success story that I now have the honor of living today. So let's get back to our little drawing, and I'll finish up my story in just a moment. There's a crucial piece missing that I'm about to reveal, and it's going to allow you to connect the dots and understand the power of what you're about to receive. So just hang with me here. It'll all make sense in a moment. Remember our little stick figure man? We said that this top hemisphere is labeled our conscious thoughts. And once again, these are the thoughts that we have direct access to at all times. So when you actively think positively, you're telling your conscious mind to think those positive thoughts. And this lower hemisphere here, this is our subconscious mind. This is the hardware of our mind. It's where suggestions come from in an involuntary way. When you consider your life and what is possible, you use a bit of your conscious brain, but the initial picture of what is within the realm of possibility, that comes from your subconscious mind. That is the initial blueprint that you're working from. It's the compilation of all your experiences, feedback, and programming that your conscious mind has been exposed to. Your subconscious mind is your self-image. It's also the origin of your thought. It's the main thing that makes you who you are right now. And because your subconscious is unreachable at any given moment, it's kind of like the underground basement of your mind. You know it's there. You know there's a bunch of important stuff hanging out there, but you can't readily see or access the information. This is part of the problem when it comes to self-growth. After all these years, the compilation of your experiences and understanding has built this definition of who you are, held in the subconscious mind. So when you try to actively change your conscious thoughts and reach for more, be it more money, a new relationship, a better career, the subconscious mind holds you prisoner and keeps you stuck in your most familiar way of thinking. But don't let this bum you out, because it's possible to change your subconscious brain and your way of thinking and action taking on a more consistent, permanent basis. It's a frustrating experience, so if that's how you're feeling right now, know it's completely normal. The fact is, we all let our present results control the way that we think, and because of that, we let the past dictate our future in a perpetual state of non-improvement. Here's what happens. The moment we think about an objective, a goal, we don't necessarily feel good about doing it. Those negative thoughts I mentioned earlier, those feelings of anxiety and doubt, they creep in and eventually demotivate us from following through. And this actually doesn't end when you start thinking about a goal positively either. In fact, once you shift gears into a more positive way of thinking about what's possible in regards to your goals, you're actually likely to experience a heightened sense of anxiety and doubt. This is the conflict of your current subconscious and self-image with the sights you've set before you. However, consistency and persistency is your friend. Because once the idea of your goal becomes reinforced positively enough, you will build the brain cells and mental muscles to create a rhythm of thinking, a reflex that pushes you forward instead of pulls you back into safety and comfort. The more and more that you think about where you are going and how you are going to get there, you will act on the idea. So you see, doubt, fear, and anxiety is the result of the changing of the mind. The difference now is that you understand why you're having these negative feelings. And so with this understanding, you can break through the barrier of self-doubt. Now, getting back to my story earlier, I was in my 20s and filled with negativity about the future. I didn't know how to get myself out of my thinking funk, and after accidentally stumbling upon some positive affirmations online, I discovered the simple trick to snapping me out of my unproductive mindset was escaping into a series of positive statements of reinforcement. Hearing statements like, "Life is abundant," or "I am confident," or "I am so grateful for every single day," actually began to train my brain away from negative thought patterns. And the reason is quite simple. During sessions of affirmation training, I would immediately escape into a more positive place mentally. Even though the affirmation audios I would listen to were only 7 to 10 minutes long, their effects lasted much longer. I soon became addicted to scouring the internet for more tracks with specific goals in mind. For example, one day I would search for tracks that raised feelings of happiness. Another day, I would look for tracks that improved confidence and fearlessness. Later on, I might look for affirmations that taught me forgiveness. The bookmarks I was storing on my computer's browser began to grow, and soon I realized that I was jumping all over the web for resources that I really needed in a single place. So it was then that I committed to creating my own affirmation tracks. I spent months carefully crafting a list of over 2,000 positive affirmations, and then sorted them based on category and objective. I then bought a pretty pricey condenser microphone and patiently recorded each set of affirmation tracks into my own unique playlist. After that, I mixed the audio tracks to interweave the affirmations into a hypnotic rhythm that would allow my conscious mind to pick up the clearer statements and my subconscious mind to absorb the inaudible suggestions. Finally, after nearly 3 months of work, my project was complete, and since that time, I've lovingly named this compilation Action Affirmations. This video is the product of a self-improvement movement that has been nearly 2 years in the making. Action Affirmations is a set of 10 separate affirmation tracks and one all-encompassing track that has not only transformed my own life, but hundreds of beta participants who have used them for their own benefit. Each action affirmation track is designed with a specific goal in mind, to change your mindset with regards to a single aspect of your perspective. The 10 objective-oriented tracks are accompanied with energizing, reflective music to raise your mood and emotion, allowing your mindset to match the vibration being raised within you. The first track is called Gratitude. In order to receive anything in life, you must first appreciate the world around you as it currently stands. Gratitude puts situations into perspective, and once you feel good about the present, you're positioned to receive the greater good in the future. Gratitude is the force that manifests all of your dreams into reality. Master this mindset to unleash your life's full potential. The second track is focused on positive thinking. This is a determined approach to positive thinking. Your life is one and only. Accept that your reality can be whatever you want it to be. Choose to be positive and know that you are special, you are good, and you deserve a beautiful life. Today is going to be a great day. After that, you'll be led through the affirmations on achieving wealth. You can achieve great wealth, no matter where you're starting out from. Dream big and picture the end result first. Live in that emotion and feel good. Imagine how your newfound turn of fortune will feel and be grateful for the universe delivering it to you. Next, you'll be taken through the affirmation track for achieving goals. Reach for the moon and take action with positive affirmations for achieving goals in any aspect in your life. Listen and affirm the statements of commitment. You can accomplish anything. No more excuses. Just do it. The fearlessness track is after that, and it will remove any obstacles you're focused on. Listen and meditate on your fearless self and feel comforted by a calm, determined accompaniment. Being fearless of failure arms you to break the rules. In doing so, you may change the culture and just possibly, for a moment, change life itself. Following that is the opportunity affirmations track. These opportunity affirmations remind you that life is unpredictable and wondrous. Possibility is the bridge that works in your favor. Look ahead with a smile and curiosity. Good things wait just around the corner. Just stay patient and know that opportunity truly does await. The anxiety affirmations track will calm your mind and spirit with soothing, comforting mantras. Let relaxing background sounds of rainwater wash away your worry and bring you peace. The hypnotic rhythm of this meditative session will gently ease your thoughts into comforted bliss. Forgiveness is next. Forgiveness doesn't make the other person right, but it will set you free. Program your mind with an attitude of release for all things negative. Embrace love, forgive, and move on with your life to a more joyful space. After that, you can empower your mindset with confidence. Listen, enjoy, and let the positivity infuse your being. Allow these affirmations to build your determination and create a bubbling sense of self-worth. Take what is yours and live life with your chest outstretched to the world. You can then use that confidence to fuel the relationships track. Reconnect with loved ones and form new, powerful relationships with those around you. Personal connections will support everything you wish to manifest in life. Attract them and set your mind right with these affirmations of goodwill. Smile as new relationships form and current relationships blossom. The series is capped off with a happiness track to brighten your morning or evening. Sit back and smile as the warm rhythm of this upbeat track transforms you. Happiness is as simple as choosing how you view the world around you. Follow your heart and live life with the excitement and curiosity of a child. Happiness affirmations start your day off great. And finally, the last track is a bonus affirmation track containing nearly 2 hours of uninterrupted affirmations. The title of this bonus track is called Stream of Consciousness. It's ideal for playing in the background when you really want these suggestions to slip into your subconscious and take over your perspective when you need them most. The Stream of Consciousness track is focused primarily on 15 different subjects, including the 10 affirmation tracks mentioned above, and as a bonus, also including affirmations for self-esteem, exercise discipline, healthy eating, spirituality, and career. To accompany these tracks, I've also written down all 2,000 plus affirmations and categorized them based on the discipline being honed. So if you prefer to read these affirmations aloud or even go so far as to record them with your own voice, you have that option. However, reading these affirmations is not required. Through regular listening, the positive statements will creep into your subconscious and reprogram your baseline of thinking to perform on a higher plane of positivity. And the best part about action affirmations is that they don't require active listening in order to be effective. Just set aside 15 minutes or more every single day to put in your headphones and play one or more affirmation tracks for your self-improvement. With consistency, the suggestions will creep in, and what you'll slowly find happening is that you become more cognizant of your thinking. So when a thought creeps in, like, say for example, I can't do it, or I don't have enough money, the thought will be swiftly combated with one of the many affirmations that positively strides through this negative weight. When you have a thought like, I can't do it, you won't be able to help but think the thought, I can do it, because that is one of the thousands of positive affirmations being ingrained in your conscious and subconscious mind over time. This is the power of this system. It's like training wheels for your positive thinking mindset. Action affirmations takes the work out of consecutive thought control and builds your positive thought response automatically. You can be mowing the lawn, exercising, taking out the trash, commuting to work, or even sleeping, and simultaneously be reprogramming your subconscious for a greater life. This isn't an exaggeration. This is exactly what is happening when you continually restructure the way you think about your present and future. When you think more positively and gain positive goals or ideas, you're actually building brain cells to accomplish those goals. In addition to nearly 3 hours of positive affirmation audio and the written affirmations, it should be noted that all of this content is downloadable. That means if you choose to save these tracks to your phone or music device, there is no internet connection required in order to use them. You'll also receive as a bonus The Matrix of Reality. It's a manual from Enoch Tan, famed philosopher and expert in the area of mind science and universal science. This downloadable ebook gives you a deeper knowledge of the universal secrets that govern every area of life and reality. It will help continue to bridge the gap between thoughts and things so you can evolve your perspective to not only make you happier in life, but also work more favorably for you in every circumstance. And all of this, including the ebooks, audios, bonuses, and any future additional tracks for the lifetime of this product, can be yours today for just $27. That's it. Just a one-time payment with no strings or hidden fees. Action Affirmations has been so incredibly powerful and beneficial for thousands of listeners that I wanted to make this product available to everyone. And for this reason, I'm keeping the cost accessible for everyone. $27 is a minuscule fee for fundamentally altering your life and mind for the better long term. Aren't you ready to get into the driver's seat and take control of your life's destination? Land that job you've been forever putting off or too afraid to go for. Buy the house that will allow your family to feel at home and comfortable. Meet the man or woman that will complement the second half of your heart. Health, wealth, and love, it can all be yours if you take action right now based on faith, desire, and positivity. You can reach wherever you want to go. That destination can be anywhere you choose. Simply click the download button right now and begin the journey of your divine life, starting in minutes. And this program works for anyone and everyone. And the degree of your success is merely based on the time you invest in listening. You can actively listen to the affirmations or just throw on your headphones and let the positive waves wash over you and cleanse your mind from the inside out. It's up to you. See how this system has transformed the lives of many with a sampling of our success stories here. Not only is Action Affirmations going to change your life infinitely for the better, and not only is it priced ridiculously low, allowing anyone to purchase it today, but I'm also offering a 60-day money-back guarantee if you buy the program right now. This means that if for any reason you are not completely satisfied, if your life and attitude are not significantly changed for the better within the next 60 days, you can simply refund the product, no questions asked. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm taking the risk completely off your shoulders so you can purchase this product right now confidently, knowing that you will only improve your current circumstance. I wanted to position this offer in such a way that the small fee of $27 wouldn't stand in the way of helping thousands of participants take action and be immeasurably grateful that they did. We're talking about less than the cost of a lunch for two. So with such a low barrier to entry and a 60-day money-back guarantee that this program will tangibly improve your life, why wouldn't you pick up your copy of Action Affirmations right now? The opportunity is yours for the taking. Simply click the download button below and get started immediately. Now, I had mentioned at the beginning of this video that this offer will not be around for long. So in fairness, I have to warn you that it is completely possible you will leave this page and upon your return, it will no longer be accessible. Action Affirmations is priced insanely low, considering the value you'll be receiving. And because of this, I'm considering repackaging the program at a higher price down the road. Consider this the window of time in between product releases where you can still receive Action Affirmations at this universally affordable price. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Even if you feel that you don't have time to dedicate to these tracks right now, pick up your copy so you'll have them at your disposal when you need them most. You have to be honest with yourself here. What's it going to be like if you don't make this change in your life right now? Will you continue to float on, not knowing if your actions and mind support a life you can feel calm and confident living? I've placed the door in front of you, but I can't make you walk through it. You have to do that part on your own. Say yes to a greater you and click the download button right now to start the next chapter of your life. This is your moment. This is your time. In our lives, we only get one bite at the apple. Take a deep breath and know that this is that chance. Click the download link right now, follow the instructions on your screen, and I'll see you on the other side.